Hi everyone! This is going to be a video explaining things that I do not understand about the equestrian world, or equestrianism, or whatever you want to call it. These are some things that I have just came to not know the answer to over the past couple years. So let's get into it. My number one thing I do not understand at all is why do people not think riding is a sport? Why? Like, there is no part of my brain that can comprehend why people think this. Like, it is in the Olympics. The Olympics is a huge thing of sports, aka it is a sport. You use your body, it's exercise, you sweat to death. Like, what about riding says that it is not a sport? It blows my mind that people are just like, you just sit there, it's not a sport, the horse does all the work. If you sit on a horse, it's just gonna like roam over to a patch of grass and eat. And I don't understand, like, oh my gosh, I wish I could put all the people in the world that say that on a horse and be like, hey, do it then. Go for it. It is the most frustrating, and it honestly gets me so angry. Like, when people say it now to me, I'm just like, I just ignore them because I'm like, I cannot deal with this. Like, I cannot deal with you. Like, oh my gosh, okay. So yeah, that was my first thing, that I do not understand why people do not think riding is a sport. Like, Western, English, anything. Why? I don't know. Number two is why people mix black and brown tack. And people have black helmets and black boots. And then they have a brown saddle and brown bridle, and that makes sense. But then they throw in like black boots on their horse with brown tack, and like, it looks fine. There's just so much mixing of black and brown in the equestrian world that I can't even keep track anymore. Like brown show coats with black boots and like a brown belt, and then like brown tack with like black boots on their horse, and like, there's too much. Like, pick a color and stick to it. Oh my goodness. The third thing I do not understand about the equestrian world is why it's so much about brands and statuses. Like, yes, there's like nice tack you can have. Riding shouldn't be about how expensive your tack is and how far up you are along in your riding, or like in competition or whatever. Like, you could be a fabulous rider and not have any brand name tack or like compete at super high levels. You could just be a fabulous rider and ride at home and like be amazing. Make yourself seem so cool for buying all this stuff and like having all these brands and having the huge status and walking around being like, yes, I have all this. Like, I don't understand. It should be focused on the sport and focused on horses, and that should be it. The fourth thing I do not understand about riding is why everything is so freaking expensive. Like, okay, I understand saddles take a long time to make from like a saddler and like all the leather and whatnot, so I understand that. I mean, horse boots for like $300, stirrups for $400, helmets for $600. Like, I don't understand. And like, then again, saddle pads, you can get some for like $15 or under, and then some are like $250, $300. I'm like, what is the difference between this cotton pad and this cotton pad? Like, no, I don't know. It's not like all of us can afford it. I want it, but I can't have it because it's too expensive. The next thing is why we can get up at like 6 in the morning and like not even eat breakfast and go to the barn, get ready, go to a show, and like not complain at all. But yet if you have to wake up at like 7 and go to school, you cry and like can't handle it. Well, I guess I kind of do understand because it's horses, so why wouldn't you want to do it? But I mean, it still makes no sense. Another thing I do not understand about like horse people is that if you take lessons and you ride the school ponies, you do not need expensive tack at all. Like, it's not your horse. What are you doing? At the last barn I was at, she bought a $3,000 saddle for a school horse. That's like $25,000. Number one, it's gonna retire soon. Number two, will your expensive saddle fit other horses you ride in the future when you grow out of the school horse or you change different school horses? She wasn't leasing, wasn't co-boarding. I understand when people feel attached to a horse, but I don't understand why you think it is necessary to buy tons of expensive tack or tack in general that is like fitted to that horse and won't be to one you ride in the future or lease in the future or own in the future, and I think it's a waste of money and it doesn't make sense to me. Another thing, I don't know if this applies to anyone else, but it's definitely for me. When I ride and I'm like doing a course or I'm just like doing flat work or whatever, I cannot hear if you talk to me. If you try to say something to me or like be like, Lauren, blah blah, I will not hear you at all. Like when I ride, I am in the zone. Like there's a bubble around me and I cannot hear anything else. Like it's crazy. I don't know if any of you other people have this. Like my coach, I'll be on a course and then I'll finish and she's like, you did the wrong jump on that one part, and I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, I was screaming at you to like, you're going to the wrong jump, and I was like, well, I didn't hear you, so it's kind of dangerous, to be honest, because Maya always like tries to yell at me or talk to me, and she's like, Lauren, like, are you doing this, or I'm done, or whatever, and I'm just like not even paying attention or hearing her, and a lot of people think I'm just doing it deliberately, but physically I cannot hear you, and I don't know why. Why do people get so mean about horses and in the horse world? Like a lot of people are really rude and mean, and I don't know why. Like, I mean, we're all here for the same reason, to ride horses and to love them and to do whatever. So I don't understand why people feel the need to be rude or mean. Like, I remember when I was probably my first show ever, when I was like 8 or 9 or something, I was on a pony and I was riding, and like I didn't understand how showing worked, so with the ribboning I ended up getting champion, and this like girl beside me was like, oh, in novice we're gonna like kick your butt and like you're going down next year and like you don't even have a chance, like you got lucky this time. I'm like, I don't know, like I didn't even know really what champion was, and I didn't know, like I just went out there and rode. Like I was not even considering the fact that like other people wanted to win, or like I didn't even want to win. Like I didn't even know really what winning was, and like I don't know, it was just so stupid, and I couldn't believe that she was like being so mean to me, and I've never like even met her before, and just because I won she was like so rude, and I was like, okay. It mostly happens at shows. It doesn't happen too much at the barn, but like sometimes there's conflict at the barn, which I try to avoid. But I mean, when people are just at shows, I don't understand why people can't just be like, congratulations, like good job. But no, they have to be rude about it, and I'm like, oh, that's so stupid. Another thing I do not understand about the equestrian world is why people think that like, everyone else out in the world won't notice when they overprice their horses. On horse ads, the horse is like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, and it's walk, trot, canter, and like cross rails. Do you honestly think that a horse like $9,000 is like you pay for what you get? Like I don't think that's accurate at all. When it's like $10,000 plus and they haven't even been jumping much or anything, like why? Do you honestly think that you're gonna get that much money for your horse? Because I don't think so. People say their horses can do what they actually like are not even capable of doing, so why do you price your horse for that much? I don't know. It's false advertising, so if somebody actually comes out and sees your horse, do you think they're gonna pay for it right away and be like, yes, I'll take it? No, they're gonna look at your horse and look at you and be like, what are you doing with your life? Like, number one, I'm not stupid. Number two, your horse, like, the price and what it can do does not match, so why do you price it that much? I don't know. It makes no sense to me why people can't just price their horse what they think is fit for the experience it has and like the breeding and what it can do and stuff. I don't see why they try to jack up the price and like tell people their horse can do stuff that it can't. I don't know why people are dishonest like that, and it really makes no sense to me because it's a waste of time, a waste of money, and it's just stupid. These are a couple of things that I do not understand about the equestrian world. Hopefully, maybe some of you understand them, I don't know. But yeah, so, yep. I don't understand, I just don't, so, yep. See you in my next video though. Thanks for watching. Bye!